Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to talk about, of course, what's going on in the markets over this past week. And we are going to start with the cryptocurrency market. As you can see here, Bitcoin is currently trading at $26,708. It's down over 7.5% over this past week. The crypto market has definitely taken a bit of a leg down over this past week. Ethereum is now under 1800 at 1797. We also see that XRP is down 7.6%, Cardano down 4.2%, Dogecoin at 6.8%, and Solana at 5%. And then you have Polygon rounding out the top 10 this week, down 13%. So we see that the cryptocurrency market has gone down a little bit. One of the biggest news stories over this past week is that we did get inflation data from from April of 2023, and that came out earlier this week. And as you can see, the consumer price index rose 4.9% in April, the smallest increase in 2 years. So we're starting to see that the interest rate hikes that the Federal Reserve has been implementing for 10 consecutive sessions has now started to see that the inflation is going down a little bit. Now, it still is very high, and from what they have been saying in the past, they want to get inflation down to that 2% range. That remains to be seen, and the fact that they're increasing these interest rates is hurting a lot of businesses who are unable to borrow money like they normally would be able to at a lower interest rate. But then we're also seeing what's happening in the banking system, where a lot of these regional banks are starting to suffer because of investments that they made back when interest rates were much lower. So we can see that the interest rates readings have weakened for 10 consecutive months from its peak in June of 2022. And I believe at that time it was around 8% inflation. So we are seeing some downside and some relief with certain categories in the inflation report that was released. And as you can see here on the CNBC.com article and their website, they are giving a breakdown of the inflation numbers. As you can see, eggs, which is amazing, is still up over 20% at 21.4%, higher than it was a year ago. And you can go down here and see all the different rates that we are seeing of inflation over this past year. And really what it is that you're comparing the April 2023 numbers to April of 2022. And so we're seeing that difference is the inflation numbers here, the percent inflation number that we see here. So we're seeing that airfare, I have been traveling a little bit lately, and I believe airfare is higher than what it has been in the past, but it's saying that it's 0.9%. So there's a lot of interesting ways in which these numbers are compiled, but as you can see, you can at least get a general idea of what is happening in the overall market for consumer goods and services. So with this inflation data, we're starting to see, at least over this past week, that the cryptocurrency market has started to go down a little bit, and in part, it's because of the fact that the US dollar has actually been going up, despite the fact that we're hearing more and more about other countries that are looking to transact in other currency outside of the US dollar. Warren Buffett, in his recent meeting with Berkshire Hathaway investors at their investor meeting, believes that the US dollar is going to continue to hold strong, at least for a longer period of time than what many are speculating. And so we're seeing here that BRICS is an acronym for the five leading economies: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And collectively, they are being known as BRIC. And people believe that at some point, and there have been a lot of rumblings, that they're looking to create their own currency so they no longer have to rely on what is still the global reserve currency, the US dollar. But we are seeing right now, at least with these inflation numbers going down, we're seeing that the US dollar is going up. And so that is affecting the cryptocurrency and stock markets. And right now, the cryptocurrency market is starting to see a little bit of a downturn. So we'll definitely keep you posted on what's happening in the cryptocurrency market. We still are above that $25,000 level right now at Bitcoin for Bitcoin. If we start to see it dip below that $25,000 level, then we could see more of a downtrend where we could get closer to that $20,000 level, which is another major level of potential support that we'll be looking at if you're thinking of the technical aspects of the cryptocurrency Bitcoin. So we're going to go and move on to a couple more interesting stories over this past week. As we're speaking of Bitcoin, there has been some movement in some of the older wallets that hadn't moved Bitcoin for several years. So one great thing that we know about blockchain technology and Bitcoin is that it is a transparent ledger. So you actually get a chance to see every single transaction that happens on the blockchain. And so we have been able to track what is happening with Bitcoin that has been bought and held for several years. So the ancient supply, depending on who you ask, could be as far back as 7 years or more. But there was a Bitcoin wallet that apparently came back to life that had bought Bitcoin in 2011, and just recently they moved 139 Bitcoin to a different address. So apparently this owner who had hodled basically held the cryptocurrency for nearly 12 years, had actually bought the coins for just over $2,250, and it is now currently at $3.5 million. So at its peak, it was nearly three times that. So almost 10,000, or I should say, excuse me, probably around $10 million at the time of peak Bitcoin on a $2,000 investment. So we are starting to see, as you can see from this other article here, that there are some Bitcoin whales and ancient wallets that were holding Bitcoin for several years are starting to make some movement. So we'll be interested to see what happens as we get ready to go into the Bitcoin halvening, which will be sometime next spring. And usually what happens with the Bitcoin cycle is about every 4 years, we have a Bitcoin halvening where the miners will now have their rewards cut in half. So that now means that we're going to have a little bit more of a supply squeeze. And so usually what happens after a halving is the Bitcoin price will then start to go up and we go into our next bull run. So past performance is no indication of the future, but we can look at it as a guide. So we will see and find out whether or not we go into a bull market going into the latter part of 2024. So another interesting story that we came across this week is that Robinhood, which is one of the top mobile investment apps, is going to launch 24-hour trading to let customers buy and sell Tesla, Apple, and some other popular stocks around the clock. So basically, it's going to be 24-hour trading during the week and not on the weekend. So it's actually a hat tip to the cryptocurrency markets because crypto is 24/7, 365. Doesn't matter if it's a holiday, it doesn't matter if there's a pandemic, it doesn't matter what's going on, cryptocurrency can be traded at any time. And now we're starting to see that legacy systems, financial systems, are going to be looking towards other opportunities and other ways to attract investors and attract traders. And so Robinhood will soon allow customers to buy and sell various stocks and ETFs. I believe it's about 40, as you can see here, 43 individual stocks and ETFs, which include some of the most popularly traded stocks like Tesla and Apple and Amazon. So we'll definitely keep an eye on this because Robinhood in their latest earning reports did report that they have not had the amount of volume in their crypto wallet, or I should say in their crypto business. So this will definitely potentially help them in bringing in some revenue now that we can have people like us, me and you, the retail market, be able to trade 24 hours because obviously they still get a portion of the trading that's happening on their platform. So now that we're in a bear market for crypto, the revenue is down in that area of the business. So now they're looking to find other ways to make some revenue. And it looks like this 24-hour market could potentially be a boost. So we definitely will be looking forward to see what happens with that. And the last little bit of news that we want to get into today is Barbie, one of the most well-known brands in the world, captivating the imagination of children all over the world. They are bringing more women to Web3. They are partnering up with Web3 native media company Boss Beauties, and they are going to be offering up digital collectibles, I believe, on May 18th. And Barbie now is represented by over 250 careers. And so what they're going to have are these $25 digital collectible packs, virtual packs, and you can then buy and then trade on the Flow blockchain. So you can see here, this is the announcement of Boss Beauties and Barbie.
She shows us we can be anything. An astronaut, a doctor, the world's fastest race car driver, an engineer designing cutting-edge technology in a houndstooth dress, and pumps. Over 250 careers and counting. For over 60 years, Barbie has been inspiring women and girls. More than a doll, Barbie empowers girls to be anything. And that's what makes Barbie a boss. Welcome to Web3, B. Join Boss Beauties and Barbie in creating a world where you can be anything.
So there you go. So the collection will feature Barbie's various versions, such as CEO, game developer, fighter, pilot, and the purchase will not be available in cryptocurrency. So that's actually going to be able to most likely attract a lot of people who still do not understand NFTs, do not understand Web3. So this is basically an easy on-ramp for them to at least get adjusted to the idea of having virtual/digital collectibles. So the collection will have categories ranging from common to exclusive, and that is the rarity range. And then you see that on May 18th, it's going to be launched, and the partnership comes ahead of the Barbie movie, which will be coming out in July, that a lot of people are excited about. So it's great to see that we have some initiatives, including a huge brand like Barbie that is looking to bring in women and girls and boys who are all in love with the Barbie brand into Web3. The last little shout out I want to give is to Jumpstart Designers. They're looking to bring in young aspiring digital artists, and this is a nonprofit, and they are raising funds to be able to provide not only laptops to young people in underserved communities, but also provide them design software and teaching them about being able to make digital artwork and be a part of a great community that obviously, as we know, is growing with the world of NFTs and digital art. And so if you go to this website at jumpstartdesigners.com, shout out to them as well as Black Girls Code. That's how we learned about this lovely initiative. So if you want to learn more, go to jumpstartdesigners.com. They have had an auction to raise funds, and there's also other ways that you can support this wonderful initiative. So we just wanted to give them a shout out. So in the meantime, we look forward to obviously connecting with you very soon on the Networkchain. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.